Friday, it's the main retail day of the year, but with massively slashed prices, what's the economics behind the sales? Joining me down the line is Eric Mayefsky to find out. Eric, maybe we'll start with how the shops make money from Black Friday.
Even with the deep discounts you see on a lot of these products, for many of those products, there's still going to be a substantially larger return than what the companies have to pay to buy them. They're still making money on those products, and the reason they aren't offering those prices year-round is that they can make more money at other times of the year from other sets of customers. What you're seeing is what economists call price discrimination, where there's a certain amount of stress and work involved in Black Friday as a consumer, and what that means is you're getting folks who don't have the money but do have the time to participate. Businesses are allowed to capture value from these customers who wouldn't be able to afford things when they're higher priced. The other way that businesses think about this is by getting folks into the store, by offering sales on certain specific items, especially when those customers are in a shopping mindset, that they can also make money through other products that don't have that deep discount. So that's called loss leading. The products that are sold sometimes at a loss still are worth it because it gets customers to buy other things.
And of course, there is the saying, buy in haste, repent at leisure. So surely returns are a massive issue following Black Friday. What's the economic impact of these?
But behavioral economics, in terms of people's willingness to actually spend the time returning a product to get that money back, especially if it was a gift where there's some guilt involved, still leaves the businesses coming out way ahead.
How much would you say the US retail sector depends on Black Friday?
The original name of Black Friday is that's the day that businesses get into the black and end up being positive for their quarter or their whole year. So it's typically been a big deal. Obviously, as more shopping has moved online, there are other concepts at work where businesses are trying to distinguish themselves and say, hey, there are great ways to save money with us outside of Black Friday itself. But I think the concept still plays a huge role, even if the day doesn't play as big a role as it did in sort of the pre-e-commerce era.
Black Friday is said to be an indicator of the health of the US economy, but I recently spoke to an economist who said that it's almost become irrelevant. What do you make of this?
The whole retail shopping season, holiday shopping season, is a big indicator of how the economy is doing. And exactly what share of that happens on the day itself is definitely diminished, but the whole mindset of carving out specific periods where you can get a discount, get your holiday shopping done at a cheaper rate, whether that's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, et cetera, doesn't really change the fact that that whole concept is still very important.
Now, the concept of Black Friday is quite new to the UK. How should companies approach this day?
We've often seen stores have open very, very early, stay open very, very late. Obviously, the online component is a big piece of it as well. And, extending Black Friday beyond just that immediate day is a big way to improve it. So just distinguishing yourself as a retailer.
Black Friday, of course, follows Thanksgiving. So is it purely a marketing gimmick in other countries to capitalize on the bargain mentality of consumers?
It was originally proposed as something of an economic stimulus, where inducing people to do a lot of their shopping earlier and spend more because they feel like they're getting a good deal. I think there isn't a strong cultural underpinning for why this is the most logical time to do it, other than that, Thanksgiving does allow you this extra day where you spend the Thanksgiving day itself with family, but then have that Friday as often an off day from work. So that's why it makes sense.
Now, Cyber Monday is also growing in popularity as more and more people prefer the convenience of buying online. Do you think this will actually spell the demise of Black Friday?
Yeah, I think that over time, as you see more of all retail and all commerce move to the internet, the idea of going into a store and fighting those crowds to deal with it, is going to go away as there'll be more ways to do it online. Now, of course, retailers will have to be more creative in terms of how they get the same incentives in play when you don't have to do as much work. So again, the reason that it makes sense for them to offer lower prices for that one day is that it's still going to be a pain for people who are willing to pay more to do it. So if all of that gets easier due to the online piece and Cyber Monday and these kinds of things, they'll have to find very short flash sales, 10-minute sales online, these kinds of things, as ways to make sure that they're not just reducing the price for everyone.